Driver is a male. We have a female occupant.
Cornwall detachment in Ontario is probably the busiest detachment we have.
There goes a boat right now. We see one speeding by. Well, this goes 24/7, and there's around 59 to 60 boat trips a day.
Alpha 1, Alpha 4 is behind you.
Get out of here, man. Stop it.
I'm not sure what this guy's business is on the island.
They think they're just sticking it to the tax man, but they're really financing organized crime groups to do all these other illicit activities.
It's a Ford 250. He's trying to block us. It's a cat and mouse game, so that's the way they operate.
Dusk is falling in Cornwall as residents rush home from work. For the RCMP's Customs and Excise Unit, the work shift is just beginning.
Command post from Alpha 1, we are ready.
Tonight, they are undercover, on the lookout for smugglers crossing the U.S.-Canada border with contraband goods.
That may be him up ahead of you there.
Watch for a white Dodge Caravan off the west end, heavy.
It's approaching the base. It's approaching the base right now. Turning right in the process. It's going to hit 9th Avenue right now.
Before they can stop the vehicle, the team must confirm they have enough grounds to do so. They'll have to get close to the target without raising the alarm.
Okay, it's doing the jog, doing the jog.
The jog means the vehicle has adopted a suspicious route across town.
Oh, I'm toast. This thing's over.
It's routing these RCMP officers are familiar with. And a good sign that something's going on.
Yeah, it's Hebert. I'm going to get the plate. I have to peel off of this thing here. Obviously, it knows I'm here.
Most of the time, these officers will pull a vehicle over on the road. Rarely does a vehicle lead them to a home base.
It went into the back of a residence.
Tonight, the team is lucky.
Bravo 2 to command post. The vehicle, the white Caravan, does have contraband inside. We found a second van on this location in the garage, loaded with contraband as well. We'll need another tow.
Two birds with one stone. The vans and their contents are seized and taken to the RCMP's exhibit vault, where everything is counted and processed as evidence. This is a valuable seizure.
It's not about the cigarettes, it's about all the different organized crime groups that are trying to take advantage and to get the public to understand that our role is really to protect the communities, because we have these people out there driving vehicles in a terrible state. Some of them are high on alcohol or drugs, so people could get hurt. 17 full flavor we count.
Tonight there was 48, I was told 48 cases of contraband tobacco that were seized. The value of that tobacco that's seized is approximately $52,000. Plus there's also 2 vehicles that are seized. Those are at least $6,000 to $7,000 minimum per vehicle, so you're almost at $70,000 value in the seizure.
Not a bad night for the Customs and Excise Unit. But for the smugglers, this seizure is just the cost of doing business. A lucrative business.
Just put it between the 2 boxes.
So smugglers will do anything to make sure their contraband goods make it across the border undetected.
Alpha team, regroup to work unit.
Constable Mark Phillip is just 10 months out of the RCMP Academy.
Good morning, I'm Constable Philip from the RCMP. Do you have anything I should know in your car?
No, nothing in my car.
Nothing in your car?
Should I need a warrant though for this?
No, under 99(1)(f) of the Custom Act,
Okay.
which gives me the right to search your car. I can search your car, I can search you. So, right now, I'm gonna ask you once more again. Do you transport anything in your car?
Take a look.
There we go.
Well, you go check mine.
Yeah. Just stay, yeah? Okay. Now you are under arrest for section 32(1) of the Excise Act, which is possession of unstamped tobacco. Do you understand?
Not only is this a big seizure, But a little digging reveals some even better news for the team.
The person we arrested this evening is going to be held for a bail hearing because we've caught him before on previous. He's actually reporting at our office weekly for previous Excise Act charges. So now he will go tomorrow before the Justice of Peace and be held for a bail hearing. So that's good when you can keep them in detention.
But while the RCMP is tied up processing these exhibits, countless other vehicles loaded with smuggled goods are reaching their destinations. Cornwall, Ontario sits on the idyllic shores of the St. Lawrence River. This is Three Nations Crossing. Here, borders split the Akwesasne-Mohawk territory between Ontario, Quebec, and New York State. In one tiny area, there are two countries, two provinces, one state, and an Aboriginal community with land in each territory. And each has its own law enforcement agency. It's a geographical and jurisdictional nightmare for local authorities. And it makes the area a hotbed for illegal smuggling activity. The RCMP Customs and Excise Unit must work with their partners to stop it. Right now, they're on a high-intensity counter-smuggling operation. And there's been no shortage of activity.
We filled up this bin in the last 2 days. This represents around 2 million cigarettes valued at $250,000. There are producers down in North Carolina and South Carolina that supply raw leaf and fine cut tobacco to a dozen factories located in the Akwesasne-Mohawk territory. And there are around 42 organized crime groups that are involved in the illicit tobacco trade in this area. This is non-stop, 24/7.
This tobacco is used to produce a carton of cigarettes for a mere $2. The cartons are shipped to smugglers by boat across the St. Lawrence River to temporary warehouses on Cornwall Island. This means the RCMP also have to patrol the waterway.
The challenge is if we're pursuing a boat, right now we're entering into New York State water, so we're not supposed to be policing in New York State or in the United States. And as we circle around now, we're getting into the Quebec waters. So when a boat we're pursuing is going from the Canadian waters into the American waters, then we have to often call our partners to continue the pursuit. But we risk losing the suspect boat and the illegal commodity.
This makes chasing smugglers and their faster boats a game of cat and mouse.
There goes a boat right now. We see one speeding by. This is a cold day, and at those speeds, whoever's on board is trying to get something from point A to point B very quickly. Right. So we're going to go try and see.
It takes mere minutes for a boat to get from the U.S. portion of the Akwesasne-Mohawk territory to Cornwall Island and offload the illegal goods into vehicles.
I think I see some boats over there. Well, this goes 24/7, and there's around 59 to 60 boat trips a day with these cigarettes and hundreds of cases of cigarettes.
Home safe on their own territory, smugglers are brazen in their attempt to protect their own.
There we got a vehicle lighting us up. If it was more dark, they would do that to light us up. It gets darker, there'll be more and more activity.
Once on shore, smugglers will run the cigarettes to major cities. There, the same carton of cigarettes that cost $2 to produce will sell for up to $20. For smugglers, there is profit to be made, but only if they can get their vehicles past the RCMP teams watching the roads.
The black one is covered.
During the first week of the operation, the RCMP and their partners have made 35 seizures. As a result, they've seen a drop in illegal contraband activity. But it's just a matter of time before the smugglers regroup and start moving again. Winter will provide a whole new set of challenges.
A gift? What's this?
We gotta take him down.
It's winter in Cornwall. Members of the RCMP Customs and Excise Unit and their partners are on the lookout for smugglers.
10th Street, I'll confirm.
This is the first high-intensity operation of the season.
Alpha team, please.
Speedboats can't make it across the river, but snowmobiles can.
Charlie 23?
Yes.
This is Constable Mark Phillips' first winter in Cornwall.
The ice bridge facilitate basically the incoming tobacco from the state because they don't have to go through the border. And for them, it's a plus. And for us, of course, it's more work because we're gonna have more load coming this way. Some gonna go through with snowmobile, but most of the traffic gonna go this way.
Alpha 1, Alpha 4 is in position.
The shift has just begun, and the team has already noticed spotters on the road.
I just gonna check where this car goes, and I'll let you know.
Before sending a loaded vehicle with contraband, they're gonna start by sending some people over across the bridge and looking for us in town. There's also, we call them blockers. They're gonna slow down their speed and block our servants.
I'm stuck, I cannot move. It's a cat and mouse game, so that's the way they operate.
Bravo Echo Whiskey Hotel. Had a good roll to it, looked heavy. Should be touching down any second now. 4-door Buick.
10-4 team going north on Brookdale. I repeat, going north on Brookdale. Be advised, guy, we have Ford 250. I think he's trying to block us.
Is that for a car that's supposedly blocking off the...
No, negative. Car was trying to spot us before, and he tried to block us now.
Stop sign at 15.
Left indicator for Cumberland. I got control.
Alpha 1, please advise when you're ready for CP control.
Ready for CPIC. Still red on 9th, no indicator, going north on Cumberland. The driver is a male, and we have a female occupant, passenger.
Okay, I got your back.
10-4 is all yours. Go, go, go.
Okay, we're going eastbound on 13. Pulling up to the pump.
We're gonna take it down. I'm afraid he's gonna drop the load.
Alpha 2, I'm gonna set up. I'll have an eye from Henry Street.
You have been stopped under 99(1)F of a Custom Act, which give us the right to search your car. Do you transport anything in this car? Do you transport anything in your car? What do you transport? Cigarettes. Cigarettes. Okay, sir. Up, step out of the car. Put your hand behind your back. Hand behind your back. You're under arrest for Section 42(1) of Excise Act, which is possession of unstamped tobacco. Drop it.
It's my phone.
The phone stay there, remember?
Get out of here, man.
Stop
I
it.
have an uncooperative subject there. Can you just go make sure everything's okay over there?
After processing the exhibits, the team is back out on the road.
The best part of my job, it's from the beginning of a shift till the end of my shift. I just love my job. I enjoy so much everything I'm doing. I won't say there is a best part. For me, everything is nice. Like surveillance is great. Dealing with people, it's always great because you have to work on your temper a lot. Everything is great, basically.
On their next shift, the team spots two drivers from a crew who tend to run from police.
Alpha 1, Alpha 2, do we go for the bigger load or?
We are gonna go for the first one we can get. So the Grand Prix is touching down and the Impala is following, guys. Wait, it's gonna take Grand Prix 7 East, Impala following.
Alpha 3's got it by the nose. Is there anybody behind it?
Mark Alpha 4 is behind you. I'm behind you, Mark Alpha 4.
Alpha 2 is right on the Impala, 7 east. Coming up to a stale red, just turned green at Cumberland.
Okay, I see him there now. I got one for shade.
Okay, Alpha 3 is all yours.
So I lost the Grand Prix, but I'm clean on the Impala.
So let's take the Impala then. I got control, he's going east on 9th. Dan Brisson, are you ready?
Yeah, just trying to catch up here. Okay, let's arrange to pull him over. You still pulling both or just one?
Just one, the grey Impala.
Alpha 1, Alpha 4, give me an update.
We're committed. East on 2nd now. East on 2nd, do I have a back?
Yeah, behind you. Alpha 3 is behind you.
Stop 747.
There's a good bounce to it. Let's pull over. Right at the intersection here. He's trying to run here on us. It's too dangerous. Flying on his own. Okay, guys, disregard. He's over the median. He's over the median. Then pull over. Nobody follow it.
Yeah, Alpha team, no pursuit, no pursuit.
It actually came out while the RCMP unmarked vehicles were trying to block it in, over the median in grass, over another median, and then it departed away from the scene, and that's when we called off the pursuit. It's important that we first of all know that no one got injured tonight, and that is satisfying in that respect.
Pull over. Nobody follow it.
It's RCMP policy to ensure public and police officer safety. So the officers will regroup and concentrate on seizing another vehicle.
You have to understand, most of them, they don't have too much to lose. They already a pretty long criminal record, so they have nothing to lose. That's why they escape, and most of them are instructed to not stop to police. It's kind of frustrating, but because of our policy, it's not a big deal. So we don't get this one, we're gonna get the following.
4 days into their high-intensity counter-smuggling operation, the RCMP have been busy. They've arrested 15 smugglers so far, and nearly half of them are below the age of 25. The RCMP know these young people are being lured by the promise of quick, easy cash. To counter this, they're working with local youth on a number of different initiatives.
I think the young kids get in it because it's easy money. So you don't need to go out and get experience on the job. You just need to be able to drive a car. But it's not hard work and it's well paying. But it's not only young people. I've seen even some 80-year-old people in here, and that shocked me more than anything. Seeing someone that's senior citizen and still doing this kind of activity, it's shocking.
Members will also work with the community to inform the general public and help curb the demand for contraband cigarettes.
Okay, I'll work on those.
The smoking public out there are choosing this. We try to get the message out there that they're financing organized crime groups. These same organized crime groups are actually smuggling firearms and drugs both ways across the border, and this impacts all our community. There are people out there that don't realize, they think they're just sticking it to the tax man, but they're really financing organized crime groups to do all these other illicit activities, and it's a huge problem.
Every time the RCMP makes an arrest, they're not just seizing contraband, they're gathering intelligence which they'll share with their partners. So every investigation has to be thorough. This vehicle isn't loaded with contraband, but the driver is driving with a suspended license, which raises a few more questions.
Yeah, it's Nate.
These officers have a gut feeling that something else is going on.
He seems to be all going in the back of his seat. It's as if to me he's hiding money in the rest of the seat.
Sure enough, upon further search of the vehicle, the team discovers a locked suitcase to which the driver claims to have no key.
This appears to be U.S. denominations. A good almost 20 pounds worth. So my suspicion right now is I believe that given I see the money heading east towards Montreal, it could have an indication of marijuana trade.
The driver is taken into custody, and the money is brought back to the detachment to be counted.
Well, the seizure we had today is a perfect example as to what occurs in this area. Guaranteed, it's very satisfying to seize the currency. It's something which is usually would go into the organized crime's pockets. Guaranteed, it does hurt them a little bit more at the source.
The final total of the money seized was $260,780. I can assess probably that between 1% and 5% of the goods are being seized as opposed to the 95% or 98% that goes through. So it is the tip of the iceberg that we're seizing here in Cornwall.
Keep your hands over there. Everything's good?
So the Customs and Excise Unit of the Cornwall RCMP is soon back on the road.
Just look at me. Do you have anything illegal in your vehicle?
Yeah, I do.
What's your name?
Because so are the smugglers. Soon, the team will move into a new building not far from the International Bridge. This means they will be ready to accommodate a larger presence of RCMP officers to help fight contraband smuggling.